Hello there. It is Labor Day and I am here with Sony.
Good morning.
And we are going to discuss, well, first let me say I'm not happy about the summer ending. I don't know about the rest of you, but we're going to just talk about how we can try to balance the work-life schedule. I know a lot of you, I guess we could start walking. We just wanted to get set up. You know, we have teachers out there who have been home enjoying the summer and going back. So not sure how you all feel about that. It's another adjustment. We have people who have been working straight through the summer and talking about burnout and stress at work would affect you more than the people who had the summer off. Sony is a piano teacher, a yoga instructor, and actually gets to work out of her home. She teaches both in person and virtually. So why don't we just start with your piano lessons, in case anyone's interested. What are the ages? Is it mostly children? Do you have adults?
I have mostly children. I teach adults. The youngest I can go is occasionally as young as 4, but that really depends on the child and their attention span and just, you know, other factors. But generally the average is about 7, 8. And yeah, I've taught adults also. It's tougher with adults only because their schedules are kind of crazy, so they don't get a chance to practice as much, and I take that into consideration. And sometimes they have to cancel because of work commitments or other things. But I work with them, I work with their schedules.
And you have people that you teach online too, correct?
Students that I teach online. I had one who started with me when she was living in Secaucus, and when they moved, she kept me on as her teacher. So I have been teaching her now for 5 years, and then they referred me to a friend of hers who also lives in the same town, and I've been teaching her for 3 years.
And isn't that the same person who sent you to me for training?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Hey, Monsi, if you're out there,
hey.
We're talking about you. We are actually in Secaucus by the Mill Creek Point Park, if anyone's wondering where this is. Lots of meadows. But you know, there's when you're working from home, that could get a little monotonous too. You have to be very well organized and structured. I know for myself, I get distracted very easily, and if I don't have a set schedule, I will start doing a bunch of projects and sometimes just get derailed. So a few things that if you're using a desk, like a desktop computer, you know, you want to make sure that the height of your desk so that the computer, when you're resting your arms on the table, should be more with your forearms resting. You want the keyboard and the mouse close to you so that your wrists are not bending up or down to avoid that carpal tunnel syndrome some people get. There are now floating desks, which are great so that you don't have to sit all day. Sitting all day could, you know, just cause problems with your spine and cramping of the legs, and of course it's just not good for your posture. There's a photo op going on behind us. There are chairs that also can help, you know, if that has the lumbar cushions, and if you don't have one of those, you can always just put your own cushion or roll up a towel on the lower part of the back. You also want to make sure that your computer chair is at a height where your thighs are parallel to the floor. Your feet should be flat on the floor. Those are things that could just help. Hi. Those are things that could just help your spine to be healthier and not be stretching out your legs or bent in a crazy way that makes your legs cramp up.
But yeah, but a stability ball is really good for helping your posture, helping you maintain your balance.
And you have to use your core just to balance on it, and you can't really slouch over, so it forces you to sit up tall and pull in your abdomen. So that's another good thing to break away. I don't know, that might not be very user friendly if you're sitting at a desk, but it could help if you're sitting and watching TV. So that's one other thing.
Or just bounce for fun.
Yeah, there you go. Or you could come to an exercise class and do something with it. Yes. Another thing, if you have, whether it's an office in your home, or if you have to go to an office, that could just make the atmosphere a little more relaxing, less stressful. You know, the color schemes, lighter colors, softer light blues, soft greens, pastels, things of that nature. I mean, of course, if you hate it, that's not going to make you feel better, but generally those type of things. Trying to increase your natural light. So if you have blinds, try open the blinds. You know, we need to get sunlight in. Having some plants. There are plants. I'm not the plant person. I'm trying to be, but I did look it up. There are some plants that are more low maintenance, like snake plants and succulents, and what were the other ones? Some kind of,
I think ferns, I've heard, are very hardy.
yeah. There was some kind of, I don't want to butcher the name, so I'm not going to say it, but any of you plant people out there, you could be typing away right now. Put in the suggestions, plants that do well in an office, indoors, maybe with artificial light. So those are ways. And also too, if you're in a area, whether it's at your house or in a building that's very noisy and that's stressful, you know, it depends. Like if you have to keep answering the phone, that's not going to work well. But if not, you could try getting like noise deflectors, like what's the word I'm looking for? Like noise blockers.
Noise reduction.
Yeah, that's it. Reduction. Yes, noise reduction, earphones, and maybe just play some soft, soothing music, or just to silence out the noise around you. That can help. You can also just be playing some nice music. I tend to put on my Spotify every time I'm on the laptop, and if in the morning, I just put some kind of soothing, you know, I don't know, spa music or something like that. Maybe in the evening, I'll put on some jazz or whatever, something with no words. I don't want the words confusing what I'm trying to do when I'm on the computer, but I like having the sounds. You could also try aromatics. So if you need something to relax you, lavender is supposed to be very relaxing, and peppermint is very good for concentration. So
sage.
Sage. Oh, by the way, sage. Let me just throw this out there for all of you pet owners. I almost learned the hard way. I tried burning sage. Yeah, this is about a year and a half ago. But it was winter and didn't have the windows open. And actually my son was doing it, so he had never done that before, and I think he just went overboard, saging the heck out of the whole entire house. But about a half hour later, my dog started vomiting and gagging. And my dog, for any of you who don't know anything about my dog, he's a rescue dog that bites people, and he doesn't really let you do too much to him. So taking him to the vet is a big ordeal where we have to sedate him. So under normal circumstances, if there's something wrong with your pet, you take them to the vet. That was not the case. It was nighttime, and this poor dog was gagging and throwing up for hours. I kept taking him outside, and I didn't even put two and two together at first that it was the sage. We thought that maybe some of the leftovers that my son gave to him, or this tiniest bite of a chocolate protein bar, which it was such a minute amount for a 60-pound dog that when I called Animal Rescue, they said no, they don't think that would do it. But I started looking it up thinking, the sage was harmful, and it wasn't about eating sage, but the smoke of any sort. So if you're burning incense or trying to, burn sage around your house, you absolutely need to open all your windows and try to keep it away from your pets, because it does something to their esophagus, and it can really be deadly. I mean, it got to the point where I was I thought he was going to die. It went on for hours and hours. But okay, so back to happier topics. Aromatics. That's other things that if you're sitting all day, you want to get up and move around. You know, try to give yourself a break. I know if you're in an office and you have, you know, you're on a time crunch for projects and maybe you just can't, but, you know, instead of lunch breaks and all this other stuff, you know, try sporadically just taking a walk, even if it's 5-minute intervals, just to get up and stretch your legs, get the circulation going. It'll also help prevent fatigue. I know if I sit too long, I will fall asleep no matter where I am, what time of the day it is. My body thinks it's time to sleep, so I have to keep moving all the time. And we conveniently have some benches here, and being Soni's a yoga instructor, she's just going to show a couple things, like if you're sitting at a chair, whether it's, you know, at your desk or wherever you are. I mean, some of them would be more limited. Obviously, if you're driving a car, you know, you could do shoulder rolls, you could do neck stretches and that sort of thing. And the same thing in a plane. We were just discussing.
Right. If you're on a long flight, and one of the best things you can do, first of all, is wear compression socks. Doesn't matter how old you are. Believe me, compression socks are the best, especially on a long haul flight. To avoid DVT, which is deep vein thrombosis, which can then break off, and it's a blood clot, and it can go anywhere, and that would not be good. So if you're going to sit for long periods of time, then be sure to keep your legs active. So if you're sitting in your airplane seat, I know there's not a ton of room to move around in, but lift one leg and then up and down, lift the other leg up and down. With both your feet on the floor, bring your heel up and down so your toe stays on the floor. Just bring your heel up and down so that you're stretching your calves a bit. And then do the heel, keep that down, and lift your toes up and down. And of course, if you can, try to get up and move around.
When they tell you you're allowed to stand up, you should take advantage of it. And, you know, bending over, touching your toes, stretching your hamstrings, if you're able to do some twists or something.
We start out with just sit nice and tall, keep your shoulders relaxed down your back, feet flat on the floor. This is ideal. You want to try to keep your hips and your knees even. So if you're in a chair, you can try to bring it down, then that works. Otherwise, work with what you have. Second thing, be mindful of your body and what it can and can't do. So if there are certain stretches that are a little too much, just back away a bit. You don't want to feel pain. You just want to feel a nice stretch. So we're going to start in a seated position. If you're on the floor, you can do what's called easy pose. You can sit with your legs crossed. I personally like to do this with one leg in front of the other, whichever works for you. And we're going to start, place your hands on your knees, in your lap. Just close your eyes and take 3 to 5 cycles of breaths. So 1 deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and then exhale. I won't do all of the cycles because I want to run through this fairly quickly. So you do about 3 to 5 breaths, again, depending how you feel that day. From there, we'll do some neck stretches. Inhale, and then just gaze up with the exhale. Inhale, come down, tuck your chin to your chest. Same thing, 3 to 5 cycles of breath for that. Tie the movement to the breath. We'll do some shoulder rolls. You inhale, roll your shoulders forward. Exhale, roll them back. And really make it exaggerated motion. So when you inhale and roll your shoulders forward, you want to actually feel your shoulder blades lift slightly up off of your back, off your ribs. And then on the exhale, you want to feel your collarbones separate. It's a great heart opener. So that also helps lift depression. 3 to 5 cycles of that, and then reverse the motion. Inhale, roll your shoulders back, and exhale forward. 3 to 5 cycles of that. Next, we'll do some twists to loosen up the middle of the spine. Inhale, bring your arms up and over so that you can kind of get some length in your side bodies. Exhale, just twist to the right. Twist as far as you can. If this is all your body wants to do today, that's fine. Otherwise, just move fully into a twist. Make sure you're twisting from your waist and not your shoulders. Hold here for 3 to 5 breaths. Inhale, exhale to center. Inhale your arms up, overhead. Exhale, twist to the left. Same thing. Hold here for 3 to 5 breaths. Take one more inhale. Exhale, move gently into center. Remember to take these moves slowly so that you don't pop anything. And then finally, inhale, bring your arms up, and exhale, we're just going to fold forward. Forward folds are very, very soothing to the nervous system. And just hang. You can round your upper body, just hang, hold on to this. Hold for whatever length feels good to you, or hold it for, as usual, the same 3 to 5 breaths. When you're ready to come back up, inhale. On the exhale, begin to roll up one vertebra at a time. Feel free to use your hands to support you.
Nice.
And if you happen to be home and you have the time, you can then lie on your back and do Shavasana, which is, they call it the final resting pose. Just lay on your back, bring your arms out to your sides about a foot from your body, your legs out, your feet flop open, and you can lay there for as long as you like. If you do
Excellent. All right. Well, that was awesome. And those are things you could do that only took her about, I don't know, 2 minutes or so, 3 minutes.
at
that
most
you,
5.
Yeah. So you could do that, you know, in between your work day, just to stretch out. Another thing I wanted to talk about, I know a lot of people on here are retired, and lucky for you if you're getting to go on road trips and vacations, as Sony just discussed about the plane ride. You know, that could cause swelling in the legs. You need to try to stretch and move around as best you can. But I started thinking about, I absolutely cannot stand, or I should not, I do not like sitting in the car for lengthy periods. I don't like sitting down for a long time at all. But driving, I don't like doing it. It kind of, after a while, I start to feel an old injury in my upper hamstrings, the sit bones, which if I sit too long, that will start to bother me. So when I first injured it, I had to buy a cushion that I would use on my computer chair as well as in the car, just to take the pressure off of the nerve that was getting pinched. So that's another thing. But, you know, if you're like a truck driver or, you know, Uber driver or something, that you're in the car a lot, your thighs should be, your hips should be up even or slightly higher than your knees. Okay, so those cars that have you sitting on the floor like the Flintstones, that's really not good for your hips, your spine, and all that. And you should not have your legs stretched out completely straight, reaching for the pedal. There should definitely be a bend in your knee. Also, the headrest. Your headrest should go to the top of, the top of the headrest should be to the top of your head. In case you have an accident, it will help to prevent whiplash of your neck, but you should also not drive with your head resting back on it. All right, so those are just a couple of little safety things.
I use a lumbar support pillow.
Yes,
on my back.
That's another one.
For my office chair.
Oh, and for you guys who put a big, thick wallet in your back pocket, that was another one. It literally pinches on a nerve and throws off your